Okay, so we are reporting live today from Venture Cafe Thursday Gathering. It's the central community event for innovators in different locations. We are in Warsaw today. My guest is Przemek Pyziel.
Hi.
Can you say a few words about yourself?
Hello, my name is Przemek. For this event, I represent the let's call it startup. It's not a startup, but it's rather the idea of Planet Heroes, the company that we're starting in next couple of weeks. And this is the Eco Crowdfunding Platform. I've been about myself, I've been working in the financial sector for 12 years. Then I start my romance with fintech and financial technologies. And for a while, I've been working on this Planet Heroes project, and I will tell you a bit more about it.
Cool. I think Przemek is one of the greatest creators of startups recently in Poland. In my opinion, Planet Heroes is a unicorn to be. So I will start as Simon Sinek with why. So how do you think, why our planet needs some heroes right now? What is the purpose?
Well, the thing is that we are a bit messy and a bit lazy because we are just too overwhelmed, and I wouldn't say that we need a hero. I would rather say that we need a motivation, and we need a kickoff to start doing things. And the things that we done is just that we figured out how to encourage people for an action from different parts of the world, from different culture, different perspective, and make it quite good and working for quite high number of people.
Mm-hmm. So before we go straight to the product, I think our viewers want to know what is the product about. Mm-hmm. You said about motivation. I think I guess you are speaking about motivation in saving our planet, in terms of climate, the biggest problems of our globe. So I recently learned about big fires of forests in Africa and also in Amazon jungle and also in Arctica, which is super, unique in terms of long-term history of Earth. So Planet Heroes is about saving our planet, yeah? So what do you think, what are the biggest challenges, problems of our globe right now?
It's engagement of communities. Mm-hmm. I don't want to say that Planet Heroes is about saving the planet, because we won't save the planet with Planet Heroes, or I wish to, but there's so many other problems that we won't face, but this is like some small brick that we wanted to add. But the thing is that what I mentioned before, people don't care, and we lost something on the way that it's called local communities, and people don't gather each other, don't work together, and they don't care. And this is something that we would like to change.
Okay, so coming more concrete, to your idea.
Right.
What industry you operate in? How would you classify it?
Crowdfunding. I mean, I do some crowdfunding platform. We have an experience in building communities in internet. Mm-hmm. I'm working with Patronite, with New Economy, and I don't know how many of you know Patronite. This is when you can support the YouTubers. So it was a social experiment of my good friend that worked out very well. And the idea of Patronite was to check if people would like to spend the money for something that is free on internet, just to make you feel better, right? Because there's nothing else that you will receive in reward. This is just your comfort and your feelings. And Patronite worked very well. New Economy just started the other crowdfunding platforms, worked pretty well. And because as we learn on the way, the whole mechanism how to build a crowdfunding platform in internet, from the legal, taxation and IT side, and how to work with the communities to get them involved, we decided to make it on the bigger scale, and how my friends call it, with the benefit for the air.
Okay. So what exactly you are crowdfunding in Planet Heroes?
Right. So about the project, right? Because you guys don't know what the project is. So we made a crowdfunding platform where you can be paid for cleaning up the trashes. So simply speaking, we made a software where we require from user sides like couple of things, like the picture of the place before the cleaning action, after the cleaning action, and some information. And the third picture with the place where you put the trashes, like after all, like is it like in a recycling point or just a bin? It's depend of your locations. Works different in Nairobi and it works different in Netherlands. So it's depend on the place, and we need some small description of your action. And this is something that we require, but you also can add some additional information. The whole concept is built with link your profile on our platform with your other social media. So it means that we know you, we trust you, we know who you are, we know who your friends are, and you know that there is no cheating behind. And simply speaking, you have to like go outside, clean up some area. Then, like what is important, this is like post factum action. After the cleaning action, you publish information on our website, and then you are able to get donation from people all over the world. So the other important thing is that when I told you about the motivation, what we figured out during the workshop, during the test with user and so on, because we've been thinking only about how to work with some like less developed countries, how to help Africa, because there is a mess over there, and people don't have an access to labor market, but they don't have a mobiles, and they get a motivation to do such an action. But during the way we figured out, there is a massive amount in people of Europe, United States, and this like rich north that enjoy our idea, the concept of the platform, and we simply thought about them as a patron. I mean, about the people who will pay, but they realized that, guys, can we share the information about this action on the internet?
Sure.
And we said, yeah, with one click, you have the whole frame to publish this information on your Facebook, Instagram, or whatever. And it means that in one moment you can be like local hero for your friends.
You gain publicity and some good.
Exactly, you gain the publicity, and you're saying like, well, we all walk through this park, and there's this mess around, and everybody is like, don't like this concept. And then few people got it, clean it up, and they said like, well, if you pay us for the action that we made, maybe we'll organize the party for the community, or maybe we'll send the money for some hospital or some like NGOs or whatever. Like you fully decided where the money goes. You can take it for yourself, and you can send it for the
They
NGO.
can go for a holiday, for instance, yeah, as a reward.
It's totally up to you.
Okay.
But it means that in one moment you became a hero for your friends, right?
Yeah.
And
so condensing this a little bit, so you are cleaning kind of part of the world. It can be your neighborhood, it can be a forest or a desert.
yeah.
You are making a case of it in your mobile platform.
It's not a mobile. It's not only mobile. It's a web platform, I would say. But this is the system, right? So first you have to clean, then you got the reward, and the donation starts from €1. So this is very small amount of money. And because we called our patrons heroes, so the guys who are cleaning, and patrons the guys who made the donations. So as the patron, you have a filters, or you can define your filters, and that I would like to support action of coastline in Bali. So we show you the coastline in Bali, or I would like to support the action in Mazovia district. It's fully up to you, and you just you see the description, you see the picture, you see the movie, you choose the amount of donation, and if it's not your first donation, you can make it with one click. So, and after that, the money goes to the hero. Yeah,
sounds awesome. Considering the fact that our Earth is kind of in a need right now in terms of cleaning some particular areas, right?
Right.
So. Can you tell me how you gathered the cases in the world? Because you told me briefly that you worked some kind of secretly right now.
Yeah.
It was on purpose. I think it's a good case for a later discussion also. But can you just name a few, you know, Planet Hero cases you have in application in the platform already?
Right. Yes, as you mentioned, the story with the platform is that we decided not to tell about the platform to almost anyone. You are guys one of the first. We keep it in the secret.
Yeah, so we are pretty unique because it's one of the first.
We won the global contest for the best eco startup in the world, organized by United Nations, and this was something good for the publicity, but we decided to keep it like silent because
it's official or not?
It's official. It's official, and
it's called stealth mode.
Yeah, the thing is that we took part in few startup competitions, and don't get me wrong, but every single one we won because due to the range and access to this project. But we decided not to communicate that because the thing is that you have only one chance to make the first impression, right? And the thing is that it's better to make your first impression when you're saying to the people, well, the platform is running and you can like log in, then the platform will be running in a month time and you will forget about it.
I think, sorry for jumping in, but I think it's pretty useful tip for all the entrepreneurs and startups watching us, because we live in this kind of iterative, colliding your idea, telling it about culture, and maybe this approach is also viable if you have a sustainable business and money to bootstrap, yeah, because you were bootstrapping. But coming back to my question, could you name a few cases from the world, because it's amazing, you know. You told me that you are going to launch
It's getting snowball.
Yeah.
The only problem with the action that we have right now, it's like I need to be mainly outside the country, and my wife and my daughter are unhappy. But the thing is that we just made some small presentation and people just share it, and people write to us that they wanted to join. And like for the next 3 weeks, I will tell you about few actions that we have scheduled and confirmed. And this is like the action on Zanzibar on the 16th of March. 16th of September we have action on Zanzibar, and we have confirmation from the Ministry of Education of Tanzania that 16th of March is day off for kids in Tanzania, and in Zanzibar, and they will clean up the island with Planet Heroes.
So if you want to join and clean and have a vacation on Zanzibar and help the earth, you are free to join.
This will be the huge event for hundreds or thousands of kids with like cleaning up the area, and they will publish the action on our platform, and mainly they will collect the money for the computers and some educational materials for the schools. We have also action scheduled for Gili Islands, where the local community of divers agreed that there is a mess around, and we would like to dive and clean up the coral reefs, and maybe we'll collect the money that we can do something for the community. And we have the action scheduled with the Sherpas in Himalayas, where the guy said that, we are paid only for getting back the oxygen boxes, and we left all the plastic, up there, because nobody pays us for the bringing down the plastic. They pay us only for the oxygen bottles. So if we have the motivation to bring down the plastic from Himalayas, and then we will do so. So
I think it's pretty cool. It's not like standard cool. It's sky cool.
Yeah, yeah. It's cool. It's getting viral, and this is the action that we have like from abroad. But we also have an action like local, like the local volleyball club from the neighborhood where our office is. This is for small volleyball club for girls, and they said that twice a week girls, because it's for girls, have to run through the park, and this is like full of trashes. So the girls during the training will clean up the park, and we collect the money for them for some extra like facilities or some stuff for training. So the variety of action is unlimited. Like one of our developers were lately on vacation in Tunisia, and with his wife and friends, they organized the local action for a couple of people on the beach. So
wow, I can imagine myself going to vacation and also joining, local heroes.
Yeah,
somehow,
so it get viral and people just share the information. And the thing is that what we've been trying to do is make it as transparent as we could. There is no hidden things behind, and we make it as clear as possible for both sides of users, and I guess that people just can feel it.
It also pretty nicely connects with sustainable development goals. Yeah, our event today, Venture Cafe Thursday Gathering, is connected mainly to sustainable development. So I love that how you are aligning with this trend. But speaking of coolness, yeah, I'm aware that you spent some time doing real hardcore customer development, touching the problem in some very poor areas in Africa. Can you tell about this experience?
Yeah. So this year I spent like a lot of times abroad, like working on the project, and twice I was twice in Africa this year. And first time we went for this Global Science Business Policy Forum, if I not mess up with the name. And it was the startup like marathon and this competition in Nairobi where we were invited and we won. And next time when we're quite clear what we would like to do and what our market will be, I went to Africa with my wife, and we met. And the funny thing is that we just wanted to clarify if everything what we are like thinking here in Europe works for the Africa will work for Africa. And then we find out some tips that were extremely useful for us. But as you mentioned, I spent like quite a while in the slums of Madare. It's in Nairobi. And we took a part in some hackathon, and we advise guys over there, and we work with the local communities and so on. And yeah, it was quite interesting experience.
So what have you observed living in slums in Africa? What was the biggest surprise for you?
That living in Europe, you have the things that is called choice. And living in Madare, you don't have a choice. So it's like you can choose in Europe. Would you like to, the labor market is quite open, and you can decide if you go to university or like basic work is fine for you.
Yeah.
Like, would you like to live in this country or this country? When you are born in Madare, you don't have a choice at all. You just like mainly focus on survive, right? Well, your access to the labor market or to raise any money for living, it's I would say it's limited, but it's almost don't exist. And there is a lot of motivation. I think that people would like to do a lot of over there if they only have a choice.
Okay.
And everyone got a mobile phone. And even like in every point of Madare slum there is 4G, so it's like that was surprising for me.
Yeah, but speaking of choice, yeah, you are mainly right now in the cleaning earth business, yeah. But do you want also to some kind of make some differences in the world equal and help people in other way than cleaning the earth, or this is your focus is just cleaning?
I would say that we don't know. We don't go too far at that point. We wanna just launch the platform and see how it works. Probably we'll make it in like 2-3 weeks, and this is the time when I became nervous. And
keeping my fingers crossed.
Yeah, keeping my fingers. There's a lot of things we have to figure it out. People always say like to us that, well, guys, what was about the recycling? Like that's fine that you're collecting the trashes, but what's about the recycling? What about this? What like about the children abuse in the projects? And there's a lot of things that we cannot imagine at that point, and I'm just thinking that we won't save the world at that point. We wanted to do our job with the cleaning, and then we'll see how it goes, right? Maybe if we will be successful, we'll have like some soft tools to do something better. But currently, we are mainly focused of the target of our platform.
Yeah. some kind of slightly changing the topic, yeah, because in implementing testing startup solutions, we are speaking of Poland as some kind of market which is usually not big enough to make a real global scaling, and also too big for some kind of hypothesis testing, yeah. And you are a very modest guy, which I really really appreciate. But can you share in how many countries simultaneously you are going to launch your product? What's the number?
I don't want to give you the wrong number, but around 140, 150 at the same time.
Countries in the world. Wow.
Countries.
So where is the launch date? Can you?
We try to make a launch date for 27th of September.
Okay.
This is something, but come on, like this is not our first project in the IT, so we know that some delays in IT are quite common, and there is a lot of things that have to happen, and this is now we are mainly dependent of our payment solutions provider. But and we have to open the accounts. There is a huge financial facility behind, because the things what we are doing is to providing people from 150 countries to send the money for the other people from other 150 countries. So the combination is huge, and the whole KYC AML procedures that has to be done on this one, it's massive. But I think that will start at the end of September, we can call it global. So.
Okay.
Of course, there are some countries excluded that they are mainly from KYC regulation worldwide, like North Korea, Iran, or Cuba. But this is something that.
So basically, we can start cleaning right now, yeah, and we can upload the case end of September this year.
Definitely, cool. And you can send me the pictures, and I will help you with our team to go through the process.
Yeah. So you used your Patronite experience in providing proper value for this crowdfunding platform. What about your corporate experience? Because you were working in banks, right? So how this solution is connected to corporate innovation, to the corporate world, or it's not, yeah? Maybe corporates are not this kind of ready for your solution yet, yeah? So what's your...
It is.
What's your view?
They are extremely interested in this project. The thing is that, as I mentioned, there is a quite low and narrow number of people that knows about the projects, and I already have a negotiations with number of companies that would like to join the process. And the thing is that the more trustes you produce, the more would like to be in the project to vanish yourself. And we keep the cooperation on the side, except of few that are quite close to us with the values and ideas, like Samsung and IBM. We have the partnership with Samsung. We received a grant from IBM, so this is the companies that we work with. And talking about my experience is that I worked 12 years in the banking sector in financial institution together, and I guess that without that knowledge we won't be able to build this whole structure, this financial side of this project. And they gave me the imagination what's the obstacles and limitation in the banks, and how to work with them to make it happen, right? Because this is important, that when you're going to the bank you have to speak their language, not yours, right? And it's accelerate a few things.
So you want to work with corporates, okay? And what is your end game? Do you want to make an exit from this business, or develop it to other niches? So what's the?
There is no end game.
Okay.
The product start as a side business of me and my friends, and the story behind is that a year ago or about a year ago, I was driving with my business partner with his pickup in the Campinos Park, and we collected the trashes because we like it, and we thought that this is something that it's worth to do. And then later on we'll be thinking how to motivate the people to do it on the bigger scale. Why only we have to go and clean up the wood, right? So and then the idea for the platform come up, and we started as our side business project that was made mainly due to our beliefs, not like for profit or whatever.
Yeah.
And then when we see how it's how people enjoy the project and how it's like going viral, well, we don't have any like exit strategy for the project.
You have awesome why of the business, you know, and the proper purpose. So I think value-oriented businesses are now, you know, the future. Impact world is coming. Impact is the new mobile. Yeah. If you are not in the saving world business, you are in the destroying world business. So there is no in between. This is either this or this. Yeah. So I don't know if you YouTube viewers know, but we have pretty amazing audience behind us. It's a group of innovators from the Venture Cafe event. So maybe some questions from the audience, yeah, to engage you a little bit more and take you from smartphones already installing Planet
We are engaged,
Hero.
engaged mentally, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. There was a saying that they're engaged mentally. So
Yeah.
any questions?
I would just said that I really enjoyed the critic. So if you see any bugs in the process or anything that cannot work, please tell us, because it can only make, you know.
There's nothing to critic.
There's
Thank you.
nothing to critique, guy
Well,
said. Okay.
Just only one question.
Yeah.
So, what's your biggest challenge now to move forward with the project?
So the question was, what is the biggest challenge? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The biggest challenge to make it running, right, and to scale it up. We have some experience to scale up the projects on the IT side, because at the time when you have 1,000 users, that's fine, but when you have 1 million users, it's no everyone can survive that. And the thing is that we put some posts on the internet of our Facebook account that only our friends liked, that hey guys, we're looking for a hero, and 300 people shared it in 2 days. So the thing that I'm mainly afraid of is that when we start and it go viral, it can just go like too quick.
Mm-hmm.
That will be fine, right? But on the other side, you as a company, you have to control the finance, the cash flow, the support, because what is important, the platform is moderated. So you have the support to people that will, you know, reply to your queries and so on. So I'm just, you know, keep my finger crossed that everything go well.
So it's both technology and business.
Yeah. Yeah.
Both. Okay.
And I'm still afraid that, you know, even though there is a huge bench of great people that working on the project, but I'm still a bit afraid that there might be some small thing that we haven't considered during the process that can, you know, bring us some troubles.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is something that the problems of young age, right? So I just hope that, you know, we'll clear them and quite quickly, and that's
Mm-hmm.
it.
I'm super happy, you know, that things like this rise in Poland, you know, and Poland is becoming one of the markets who is trying to change the planet. Yeah, and you did a pretty intense strategy in terms of developing your business. So it was done secretly. You were 100% bootstrapping, so only private money, no external investment. Self-customer development. Yeah, so you went yourself to the Africa. So taking this into the consideration, do you have?
I have to go to Tanzania. I know that it's to Zanzibar. I know that it's horrible, but considering that every week I'm 3 or 4 days off, when I said to my wife that, you know, I have to go to
Maybe someone from the audience can go instead of you. Yeah.
That would be highly appreciated, honestly.
So where have you been to Africa?
I was mainly in Kenya,
In where?
Nairobi, Mombasa, and because there is a United Nations headquarters, and the United Nations took over the partnership of that project, and we visit the guys at in the United Nations campus quite often,
Mm-hmm.
and we joined the Waste Wise City campaign. This is the campaign of the most polluted cities in Africa.
So you visit probably Kibera, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which sorry?
Kibera.
It's the biggest slum.
Yeah.
Okay.
World.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we work also with the people from Kibera. We work with the people from Madare. This is in Nairobi, and with the guy from Madare called Kaka. He's like local star, like celebrity. He will help us to organize also the cleaning action in the Madare slums, and we are agreed that people in the Madare will clean up the slums, and the money that they collect they will spend to like renovate the soccer field inside of the slums. And we were also in Entebbe in Uganda, so this area, right?
Amazing. Any more questions, maybe? Okay, so just to finish my last question, taking into the consideration this whole process, yeah, do you have any tips for startuppers in Poland or in CE or in the world in terms of growing your business, developing your idea, and providing this proper why?
Well, I don't know. This is to sound pathetic, but this is not my first business, not the first company that I run, and when you develop and working on something that is getting from what you like to do, it's completely different energy, and when hopefully it can also be successful and works well. So if you are thinking about the business, better do it for yourself, and then you have a better chance for success.
Okay, I think we can be good innovators, startuppers, entrepreneurs, but our biggest challenge is to become good ancestors. Yeah, and thanks for solutions like this, we can become good ancestors. And thank you, Przemek, for doing this awesome job and being here today with us. I think a loud applause. It's for you today.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you.